To the audience member that has, listened to us and is like, spend a lot of time on YouTube, watch a ton of your videos, watch my videos. They've learned a lot about exercise, but they can't get themselves to start. Mm-hmm. How do you get them to start?
I like to scream at people. I like to show up to their houses early in the morning, at night, really. So I think there are a variety of things you can do to relieve the impediments of the difficulty of starting. The impediments are manifold, but some big ones stand out. One is difficulties of, what do you think you're starting? Because sometimes people will be like, all right, I'm going to get into fitness. I want to start working out. The general idea they have in their head about what that means is like 5:30 in the morning, 2-hour workouts, Monday through Friday. That's fitness. And you can't blame them because it's like all the movies, all the transformation stories. That's all that shit.
Yeah.
They follow their favorite fitness influencers that are famous on Instagram. And what are they posting? Same shit. And they're like, well, that's what everyone does who's in the best shape. So I have to do that. And in reality, what can take someone and completely revolutionize their shape if they don't typically like lift weights and exercise is half an hour per session, 2 sessions a week, done right. So when you tell people this, that thing you're trying to do, exercise, it's actually not that much. All of a sudden they're like, oh, it's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. Someone's like, you have to slay a dragon. You're like, oh, are you serious? Like the dragon is the size of a miniature dachshund and doesn't breathe fire and doesn't even fly. You're like, oh, this is kind of pathetic. Does he know I'm trying to kill him? Oh no, Mr. Dragon. So you were super scared, but then you realize the problem's not that big.
Yeah.
And so the big thing is like, even if your goals are to be eventually a psychotic exerciser, don't put the cart before the horse. Start with 2 sessions per week, 30 minutes each. That's a big problem solved already. I have tons more of these. What do you think about that one? Do you think that helps?
I think that helps a lot. I mean, I think absolutely. Like when I was younger, I definitely thought that. Like, I mean, probably that was the only time I could work out when I was in training. But like,
sure.
but you're like, I couldn't keep it up, or I made a goal this week to work out every day this week, and then I didn't do it. So what's the point? Why continue?
Totally. So okay, here's another one right off the bat for that one. Exercise and fitness are 2 things. One, when you establish a certain earlier level of fitness, your body's ability to come back to that is so amazing that it happens way faster than you would think. It's just way easier to come back to fitness than to get it eventually, or to get it the first time. So if you were really committed for 3 or 4 months and you fell off, you're like, oh, I got to redo all this work. Nah, just a couple weeks later, you'll be in the best shape you ever were. So that's when people fall off. Hey, it's not that big of a deal. So that's an important thing to say to folks. The other thing is this: fitness is an esoteric concept. So it doesn't judge you ever. And nobody in the gym is selfless enough to notice that you're there or not there. Everyone's there for themselves.
Yes.
Like, oh, where was Rena in the gym? I never saw her. Like, what? Nobody.
No
one's keeping track, right? And the guy keeping track, you really need to make sure the police know about him. That guy. Hi, it's you again. You're like, Jesus Christ! I've been in the gym for 6 weeks. I'll never forget you. So when people get off the wagon a little bit, they're like, oh, coming back to the gym, but I feel so, nope, stop. Don't feel so anything. The gym always welcomes you back. Fitness always welcomes you back. So not only do your gains come back faster, but you're welcome back anytime. And so if you fall off, it's no big deal. You can always come back. Because a lot of people have done gym before, but their motivation to do it again is sullied by their experience of like, but I'm a gym failure. It's like an in-group, out-group thing where you're like tried out for the cheer squad one year and the girls all laughed at you and you cried and fell and ran and cried and fell. Then you come back to try out next year. It's the same girls. That people get that vibe.
Yeah.
It's not that vibe at all. And if you come back to the gym owner is going to be like, you're back. Amazing. Because to him, you look like a giant green dollar sign.
Right.
He loves you back. All the other gym people, at very worst, just don't care, don't know who you are. At the very best, they're like, hey, it's good to see you. All of a sudden, you're totally welcome back in. And people don't have to carry that moralistic weight of like, I tried 8 times to do fitness and I couldn't. Like, I couldn't bear the pride of trying again. Like, girl, there's no pride in it. Just come back anytime you want. No big deal.
And I will say, as a female, I remember when I started my fitness journey, I was like, we went to the gym with my husband. Oh, I'm just really nervous about going into the weights area. And he's like, come on. And he's like, let's go. And so we started working out together. And I was like, oh yeah, this is no big deal. But it was like all in my head. Like, oh, someone's going to judge me because my form is off, or someone's going to judge me because it doesn't look right, or whatever.
Okay. So I've got all the unlocks here. This is exactly my specialty. When guys talk to you in the weights area, it's a little scary for the first couple times.
Sure.
It is not because they're judging you. there are a few different kinds of interactions you're likely to have there. One is they are awkward and they just want to help you and they think they know things about fitness. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. And because guys that are awkward tend to be a little bit obtuse, they could just like autistically come up and be like, you're doing that wrong. I can help tell you how to do it better. You're like, okay, who are you again?
Yeah.
So that's an interaction. But that interaction probably doesn't happen super often because most of those guys don't have the self-confidence to talk to girls at the gym. Mm-hmm. So preponderance interaction you'll have that generate a little bit of discomfort for females in the gym and the weight room area is guys will come up to you and try to teach you how to lift, quote unquote, or correct you. But trust me, they're not judging you. What is it? Chris Rock just said that about something else once. Just file under just trying to get laid. Just trying to get laid. And so it's annoying as a female to have to deal with that. But don't worry. They're not all exercise anatomists or some shit like that. Bros barely know what they're doing themselves. But if you come in there and you look female enough and attractive enough, they'll be like, hey, you ever considered curling like that? And what they really want you to say back, and ideally, is like, oh my God, you're so strong. Can I curl like you? And you touch their muscles and then later blowjob in the bathroom. That's where that all leads them. That's all nonsense.
Right.
But if you're a woman and you know that, you also know that, okay, so no one really gives a crap about my technique.
Yeah.
There's not like a Mean Girls attitude where it's all girls in the gym and they're all muscular. Like, really? You're going to do that? Get out of our right room. Those girls they're not real. There's none of them in there. You can go check.
They don't go to the gym.
And the fitness girls that are really in shape, they look intimidating, but they usually love other women to come into the weights thing. Super supportive. They want you in the best shape possible so you can be a fitness bestie.
Yeah.
And so they're not judging you. So she's like, actually ran out of people to judge you. And it turns out, like is often the case with females and males, the judgment's been up here all along. Like it started in middle school or something. We haven't been in middle school in a real long time. And so you just show up to the gym. Yeah, it's scary and people look like they're judging you. They're not. Like 1 out of every 100 people is an insane asshole and he is judging you, but don't worry. He judges himself or she judges herself way worse and cries themselves to sleep at night.
Right. That's pretty much the case with any bully, right? Or any like weird person. They're just like, they have their own issues.
It's a them problem.
Yeah, it's a them problem. You said the right way, doing that 30 minutes the right way. So what is the right way? My way. You got to download the RP hypertrophy app, and I don't know. I suck at marketing. So the right way to save time but still get a lot of benefit is to take mostly exercises that train large parts of your body at the same time, compound movements. If you do like an underhand pull down, if you do like a chest press machine, you have hit like 3 muscles at the same time, back and biceps and shoulders and triceps and chest and all that stuff. And if you take those movements that don't have muscles that are related, so for example, you have a rowing machine pulling in like this. It trains muscles of your back, it trains the back of your delt, and it trains what are called the forearm flexors, biceps, etc. And then you get onto a pushing machine, like a close grip bench machine, that trains your triceps, your front delts, and your chest. 0 of the same muscles functionally. Mm-hmm. So that when you do the row, your pulling muscles tire out. As soon as you're done rowing, within 5 or 10 seconds, you're on the pushing machine pushing. Those pushing muscles are getting taxed and tired, but the pulling muscles are actually starting to recover a little bit during that time. Mm-hmm. Then as soon as you're done pushing, 5 or 10 seconds later, you're back on the row. So you alternate what's called a superset, pushing and pulling for 4 or 5 sets each, 10 to 25 reps per set, roughly. Mm-hmm. It gasses you out like crazy. Crazy cardio. You're sweating bullets. You're burning tons of calories, and you're building up a ton of workload to both groups of muscles. And it's a ton of muscles. So you're checkboxing tons of muscles all at the same time, as opposed to going into the gym and doing like 1 arm at a time curls and then resting 3 minutes between sets. Oh, that'll do good, but you have to be in the gym for like 8 hours to get that to be a thing. Yeah. It's like pro bodybuilders. The judges told them like your right bicep's a little smaller than your left. You'll see them doing 1 bicep at a time and resting for a long time, then really trying harder than resting. They have all the time in the world. That's their job. Right.
But if you are otherwise occupied and you need a maximally efficient routine, twice a week, 30 minutes at a time, using mostly compound exercises, large muscle mass, you can do some isolation stuff like a bicep curl with a tricep push down combo, but that combo is critical. Unrelated muscles combined with one another. Another example is like do some push-ups and then do some squats. Do some push-ups, do some squats. Not really any overlapping muscles. That while one group of muscles is resting, the other is working, and so on and so forth. You take the rest times between sets and you contract them to almost nothing. And then you get your next exercise pairing, and you're like trying to look at your app on your phone to see what you got, and you got a towel trying to make sure the sweat's not in the eyes and on the app, and your phone's short circuiting. You're like, okay, I got dumbbell press and upright row next. Okay, you find your station, you do the thing. So like to you, the gym becomes all out chaotic warfare for 30 minutes. You leave the gym, people are like, I think she's just trained harder than anyone's ever trained ever or something. They definitely at this gym. Everyone else around you while you're training kind of feels guilty that they're not working enough. Some guy was going to rest 3 minutes. He saw you training. He's like, all right, 2.5 minutes is enough. I got to get back into this. But you're really maximizing your time. And the really good thing about this is because it stresses your cardiovascular system so much, it's also great cardio work. It's great for overall general health and for the sexual stuff. You'll get the blood moving big time. If you can survive 30 minutes of intense sets of 15 to 20 reps, very close to failure, multiple sets for the whole body, yeah, sex is just not that hard. Because I don't know about you, I've never had sex that intense.
Yeah. No, that's, I mean, I'm scared like of the intensity you're describing, but it sounds like very efficient.
Yes. And it's super efficient. And here's the other thing. Beginners to exercise benefit from teeny tiny doses of exercise. So if you go into the gym for the first time ever and you're like, dude, I don't want, what did he say? Chaotic war for 30 minutes? That ain't me. Do a set that challenges you. Do another set of an exercise that's the opposing muscle groups. And then move on to another pairing. Do 3 pairings and leave. 15 minutes later. Next time you come to the gym, just do the same thing. And you're like, wow, this is kind of easy. Next time, do a little bit more. Add a set to each exercise. You can scale it for months and months and months till you get to your kind of like working amount. It takes a while for you to be good at exercise. One of the phenomenally, in retrospect, hilarious but understandable things about people who are scared to be in the gym is they're like, I don't want to like do stuff wrong. Like, are you typically the best at doing stuff when you just first started? Imagine you like took German in high school for 2 years and you finally landed on a German vacation. Like, I sure hope I don't mess this up. Like, stop, you're gonna mess it up.
Right.
It's okay. We're all learning in the gym. Like, there's videos of me doing exercises I swore were great 2 years ago. Then now I'm like, I have like 3 better exercises than that. That guy's an idiot. So we're all learning. It's not a big deal. And it's okay to start out with very small weights, very small numbers of sets, very small time commitments, and slowly, as you feel your swag building a little bit, you can expand into the space.
Absolutely. Same thing with sex. I think people think that they just have to be really good at it for the first time. And I'm like, no, you don't know what you're doing. Like
for the first time, geez, it's really uphill.
You don't know what you're doing, and you just got to have more of it to figure out and get good at it. Right?
Yeah. Oh, okay. This is quite lewd, but I was going to say like the hilarious thing is in retrospect, who's got to put this in the proper context of appropriately aged people, adults, awkward first times are like warm knife through butter hot. Like, God damn, that shit is awesome. You can never replicate that either.
Nope.
You can't fake sexual awkwardness. You ever see the movie Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito?
I never saw it.
It's a great film.
I'll have to watch
maybe.
it.
Arnold was playing, you know, who's Arnold, right? Yeah. And like prime
the governor.
100%, exactly. Of course. Oh, that's right. I'm California. He played a person who had he was like a 35-year-old virgin. Mm-hmm. That was his character. And he was like, on an interview, he was like, I started having adult interactions in my mid-teens. And I was never lacking for that attention, probably by miles. And he's like, playing a person who was totally innocent to sex was the hardest acting I had ever had to do in my entire life. He's like, awkward around girls? What the hell? You like remember parts of you that died when you were 12? So
crazy.
It's funny that people put all that expectation on that. I better be good at this the first time. Like, no. It's built into the first time that no one's good at it. And that's part of the fun.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys like that clip from this episode of the Rena Malik MD podcast with Dr. Mike Israetel, make sure to check out the full episode right here.